Hey guys, good afternoon. This is Anosh here, just making a video to talk about my experience in Samburu National Park. So let me start a little bit of a bit poetic. It's basically very far from the crowded plains of the Masai Mara, a land which is untouched, deeply authentic, and the land is where the earth is dry, air is quiet, and every sighting actually feels a lot more personal than most parts. Yeah, I'm talking about Samburu because it has been on my bucket list for a very long time. And for someone who is in Kenya every year for a very large part of his, at least for good 3 to 4 weeks, for surprisingly, I've never been to Samburu. And this time I made it a point to go there. And I'm glad I did because it's just unbelievably raw, unbelievably virgin, and at the same time, not something that you're used to in Kenya because you're used to the circuit on the south, which is the lakes, the Great Lakes that you call them, the Lake Naivasha, Nakuru, and the Masai Mara. Samburu is very very different. It's located on the northern side of the country, then the northern frontier. It's a part of the circuit where there are a lot of other parks which I recommend that you should do. Aberdare, Laikipia, Solio, Olpajeta, and the likes. But even if you do Samburu, I think your experience will be very different from the other parts because gone are the endless plains. You don't see plains like you're used to seeing in the Mara. You actually see dunes. You see open skies, you see dryness, you see arid stuff, you see rugged terrain. At the same time, absolute dramatic beauty. Very arid, very harsh, and absolutely unforgiving. But at the same time, full of life, simply because of the lifeline called the Ewaso Nyiro River, which actually flows through the center of the park. And this is the area around which you find most of the wildlife. The Ewaso Nyiro River, very, very incidentally, divides Samburu. It's the same ecosystem, but it divides them into two parts. One is called the Buffalo Springs, and one is called Samburu. So we have all the lodges, all the iconic experiential luxury lodges along the river on both sides. And we stayed in the Elephant Bedroom Camp, one of a beautiful lodge. I've shared the link in the description on more about this lodge, but outstanding. I made some reels and shots on this particular, my experiences from this lodge that you should check out my channel. You feel that you are in an absolutely wild place because you have elephants all around, huge herds of elephants. You have big cats, you have lions, you have cheetahs, even had leopards. I saw cheetahs, lions, and huge prides of lions. And leopards I saw, but with a fleeting glimpse, I couldn't capture it on my camera. And I think because of all this, right, every game drive in Samburu actually feels it's a part of a larger story of survival because everything is so revolved around the lifeline, which is the Nairo River. And talking about big cats, it also has a lot of other predators. You have hyenas, you have jackals, and in fact, there's a part of the year during the second year, the dry season, as you call the July August season. You have wild dogs as well, which move from the Laikipia side into Samburu. So if you're going, then you must definitely watch out for the wild dogs. So this is a great place to experience a lot of different wildlife, different terrain, and the most iconic part of Samburu is just not the landscape, as I may call, but it's also the home to the Samburu Special Five. These species you will rarely find in other parts of Kenya. So yeah, the iconic five are the Grevy zebra, the reticulated giraffe, the GerenuK, the oryx, and the Somalian ostrich. These are the animals that you must encounter on a game drive in Samburu. Let's talk a little bit about each of them. The Grevy zebra is a little bigger than the common zebra. It's got a little thinner stripes and it's got a striking white belly. Its elegance is absolutely unmatched, and it's got that nice mane, single mane along its neck, which is stands out. And so that's the beautiful part about the Grevy zebra. Then the reticulated giraffe. Coat is absolutely mosaic, clean lines, geometric patterns, very precise to be natural. I mean, it's like designed by a fashion designer sitting up there, beautifully designed. Very, very different from the other two species of giraffe that you will see in Kenya, the Rothschild, which is very common along the Nakuru, Naivasha belt. And of course, the Maasai giraffe, which you see very, very common in most parts of Kenya, the Amboseli, as well as the Masai Mara. Then the third one is the Somalian ostrich. It stands apart instantly because unlike its southern cousin, which you see in Masai Mara, it's got vivid blue neck and legs. It's subtle but beautiful, very, very distinct compared to the southern ostrich, and very, very, it stands out, I can tell you. And you will see a lot of them when you go to Samburu. Then there's the GerenuK. Now this one is my favorite because we call it the giraffe gazelle. Because it does something truly unusual. You know, it stands out on its legs, upright on its hind legs, and looks out for predators and then calls. So it's got the vantage of the very long neck through which they can see and scan the surface. Because Samburu has got very dry, arid bushes, so the predators like leopard and cheetah, they try to get cover, including lions. So the neck of the GerenuK, along with its hind legs, gives them the vantage point of looking around and scanning the surface. Very fast animals, the speed of a gazelle. So gazelles are very fast. So we call them the giraffe gazelle. It's graceful and very, very delicately, unexpectedly delicate, as I can say, because it's not something that it's someone so delicate. It actually stands up on its hinds. It's a feat, and you must watch that. I saw that. I got a picture of that. You should see that. And finally, we have the Beisa oryx. It's got long, straight, spear-like horns, powerfully built, perfectly adapted for the desert arid range. In fact, very, very common in other parts of Africa like Namibia, very, very common in Etosha National Park where in Namibia, very common in some parts of Botswana, Zambia, but very, very less common in Kenya. Only a few parts of Kenya actually have the oryx. You have it in Samburu and you have it in Sabo. So that's where you see the oryx. Very, very beautiful antelope. And when you see herds of them, it's absolutely fantastic. I didn't see herds of them this time. I saw them in my last visit to Savo, but this one is great. And these truly are the signatures of Samburu. And you will obviously see big cats in other parts of Kenya as well, but these special five you will only see here. And that's why it makes a lot of difference, a lot of sense, to actually go and check out Samburu on your next Kenya visit. I think the last thing which I would like to say is that why choose Samburu at all? Because if I'm not someone who I'm okay with seeing wildlife everywhere, why choose Samburu, right? I personally think that this is where the experience gets a little different. If you are a safari connoisseur, like I am, the habitat here is something very different. And you would like to see all the animals and how they survive in all parts, all types of habitat. And that is why Samburu makes it very, very special. Unlike the most popular reserves like the Masai Mara, Serengeti, and some of the other reserves, so actually Samburu offers you a lot of space. And you can really track animals here. Really track. We track the lions there, the male lions, we actually track. And that's the fun. Unlike some parts where you have radio, here too you have radio, but sightings are kind of guaranteed. Here you actually are in that thrill. Okay, will I see or will I not see? And I coming from India where you track tigers, where that expectation and the anxiety mix and creating that feeling of a sighting, something like that is what Samburu offers. And the pug marks, the calls of the animals around, being from India, you really want to see that. So that adds to all the glamour of the sighting. And of course, the noise is less. The number of cars are less. There's more time with wildlife. That's exactly what you want. Your sightings are private. Your sightings are more intimate. And your sightings are really, really exclusive. So that's what offers. And you're not competing with sightings. Believe me, you are everyone's seeing something or the other. And you're experiencing them. You're not really competing with the sightings. Just talking about specific sightings, the herds of elephant by the the Nyiro River is a sighting in itself. The desert, I mean, say the lions are lankier than the ones in the Mara. You see them shorter, a little shorter, lankier. In fact, I am going to make a video on how the Samburu lion looks different from the Masai Mara lion. But definitely lanky, more lean, um, and of course predators are thriving across the banks, river banks. So this is the reason why I think making a trip to Samburu makes sense. But it's just not about the wildlife. In fact, I would like to also highlight, in fact, it's my bad, I've not mentioned that. It's also about the people. Samburu is a tribe and they're very closely related to the Masai. In fact, the lodges here in Samburu all employ people from the Samburu tribe. And that's how the eco-sensitivity of the region actually expands, because you have locals who are working with you and you're taking care of them. At the same time, the guiding, the tracking is all done by locals. So you have the local flavor in your sighting and absolutely law of the land that prevails. So, and they have lived here in harmony for generations. The culture is vibrant, it's proud and deeply rooted in tradition. A lot of Africa is a lot to do with the tribes. You have the Maasai tribe, you have the Samburu tribe, you have tribes in other parts of Kenya, other parts of Africa. You have the Zulu tribe, you have the Pygmies, you have all the kinds of tribes. So understanding the tribal culture is so essential in eco-sensitivity and ecotourism. So that adds to the flavor. And then, of course, the feeling that Samburu doesn't really rush you, it doesn't overwhelm you, it draws you in slowly. I feel that I should have probably spent one more night in Samburu. I did only two, but you totally think that you should do 3 nights at least. And until you see, hear, and feel it, there's nothing that this video can do justice to unless you pack your bag and go to Samburu. My last thing I would say is it's a reminder of what the wild once was, and it can still be. It's raw, it's remote, it's unscripted. And of course, if you really want to end it poetically, I think if Africa ever had a soul, I think it should be in Samburu. Thank you for watching. And in the meantime, do subscribe to our channel, like and share. And we will be keeping you posted with more videos of our site, of our recent visit to Kenya. Till then, cheers, bye-bye.